All right, so I'm looking to get in the best shape of my life, and I've bounced around, I've yo-yoed around many times, going from being in good shape to being in not the greatest shape to being flat out of shape, and that's a product of my lifestyle. I get very fixated on things, and maybe for 6 months I'll be really, really rigorous in my training, and my diet will be very strict. And then the next 6 months I'll be completely the opposite, going out to eat, drinking, partying all the time, um, not really even lifting that much. So I'm trying to put a stop to that, and I have a lot of different goals that I want to hopefully achieve over the next year or two. I'm kind of tired of doing that yo-yo thing, and I think hopefully now we'll put a stop to that. Before I discuss the plan, my schedule, my workout split, my routine, my diet, I wanted to also mention that I have a TikTok that is basically a before and after from around February all the way until July of this year. And it was me going from like a skinny fat kind of body comp to being relatively lean. I'd say I was about 12, maybe 13%. In good lighting, I looked pretty lean. But the issue is that because I do this cyclical kind of get in shape, get out of shape, oh my God, it's summer 6 months from now, I need to start cutting type of diet. The issue is that I'm never able to put on size or consistent size at all. So when that happens, it's just this never-ending no progress where it feels like I'm making progress each day, each year, until I get to that lean state in the summer, and then I look and I go, oh wow, I didn't really change much from last year when I was this way. But from, let's say, 6 months from now, or 6 months from when I first started, yeah, it seems like I made a lot of progress. So that's a big issue. And to give you an idea of my body comp and my measurements, I'm about 5'9", a hair above 5'9", and I'm about 165 pounds right now. To give you also an idea, about 3 months ago when I was in pretty lean shape, I was also about 165 pounds. So it just goes to show you my body just recompositioned itself in a horrible way. I'm the same weight, but I look 80 times worse. And we're gonna change that. So hopefully this plan people could take from, they can implement it, they can kind of maybe modify it to make it less intense, whatever the case may be. But I think it'll help people, and I think that it's a very strict and great way to kind of get really involved in the fitness space. So I'm going to be incorporating, let's break it down. So I'm going to be incorporating a bunch of different things based on my goals. I want to, over the next 2 years, be able to complete the Murph in under 50 minutes or under 55 minutes, which is lofty. I want to start and be consistent with Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu classes. And I want to, I don't know about a triathlon, but I definitely want to start running and cycling much more consistently. And so this plan is going to hopefully optimize my cardiovascular health, my overall health, and through the diet and through my supplementation, and also my body composition. I want to look like a bodybuilder. I want to look bigger, and I want to look leaner. So sometimes when you do this, you burn at both ends, and you kind of don't really optimize anything. Or maybe I found the sweet spot, so we're going to find out. So Monday through Friday, I will be doing cardio in the morning. I have Saturday and Sunday off of cardio. So Monday, Wednesday, Friday, I'm hitting Peloton. I'm hitting spin. And usually they're going to be 30-minute classes. If I'm feeling good one day on a specific day, I might hit a 45-minute class. If on the flip side, if I'm not feeling the greatest that day, I might hit a 20-minute class. I might skip the day altogether. Right? Nothing's set in stone. The more rigidity you put on a plan, I've felt in my life, the more it's easier to just completely break away from it because it's overwhelming. So I'm not holding myself to an insane standard where if one day I'm really truly not feeling it, I'll take the day off, right? Not in the lifting split, but in terms of cardio. So yeah, Monday through Friday cardio, Monday, Wednesday, Friday cycle or spin, and Tuesday and Thursday I'm going to be starting to run. I know I'm throwing a lot at everyone, but I also really enjoy barefoot shoes, and I'm starting to like do the whole type of Mark Bell optimized walking situation where I'm using barefoot shoes. I am using toe spacers when I can, and hopefully building my feet up, right, and my gait is becoming more optimal, and I'm hopefully I'll be able to prolong my my just zero pain. That I really don't experience much pain, and I'd like to keep that going for as long as possible. I'm not the youngest person of all time. Now I'm 27, so hopefully well into my 30s I can feel that way. But yeah, so that's the cardio. And then for the lifting each day, I'm working in a push-pull legs, but it's a little bit of a modified PPL. So I'm working out Monday through Saturday. I'm going to have Sundays off, and so I'll take you through it. So on Mondays, I just wrote it down here so I can just get to the information quicker. So on Mondays, I'm going to be hitting 15 sets of chest, which may seem a lot, but I can handle a lot of volume on my chest. Everything's going to be within like an 8 to 15 rep range, depending on the movement. My shoulder has bothered me for quite some time. I had a shoulder injury about 5 years ago, and since then I've struggled with barbell movements. So I'm gonna strictly kind of stay with dumbbell movements, especially for push. So about the first 5 sets of that 15 chest movements will be or sets will be dumbbell bench, right? Then I'm gonna hit 3 dumbbell incline bench movements. So that brings us to 8 sets, meaning we have 7 more. 3 more will be a hammer strength type of plate-loaded incline press. I'm focusing very much so on my upper chest. I want to be able to build it more, kind of show the collarbone line. And then the last 4 sets are going to be a fly of some sort. So I'll rotate between dumbbell flies, cable flies. A lot of times I'll hit them decline. I prefer a decline fly. So boom, that's my 15 sets of chest. And the next movement will be a shoulder movement, which I prefer to really hammer out as many lateral raises throughout the week as I can. So I'll be hitting 5 sets of dumbbell lateral raises. I keep the weight light. I really try to focus on time under tension, kind of pausing a little bit at the top. And so you hit 5 sets of lateral raises, preferably 10 to 15 pound dumbbells, and boom, you're good to go. And then this is where I start to move in some of my progressions for the other types of events I want to train for. So sticking with the kind of Murph idea that I'd like to be able to complete it in under 60 minutes, I need to start working in these movements. I don't currently do air squats. I don't currently do push-ups or pull-ups. So on that push day, after I hit chest and I hit shoulders, I'm going to be hitting at really any time. I'm not going to time myself. I'm not going to break it down set by set, but I'm just going to take as much or hopefully as little time as possible to hit 100 push-ups, 100 good form push-ups, right? So after that, it's been a hefty day, right? We've hit cardio, we've hit chest 15 sets, we've hit 5 sets of lateral raises for the mid-delt, and we've hit 100 push-ups, but we're not done yet. We're going to be finishing the workout off with about 10 sets, 8 to 10, depending on how I feel, of tricep work, right? I'm chest dominant. I've always had or I'm at least torso dominant. I've always had an easy time working out my chest and my back. It seemed to stimulate the easiest, grow the fastest. And unfortunately, my arms never did. They always lagged behind. And sometimes people say, you want what you don't have, right? And you take for granted what you do have. I've always wanted big arms, and I've never cared about my chest or my back. So if I can pump more volume in each week in my arms, that'd be tremendous, right? So I'm planning on hitting, like I said, 8 to 10 sets of tricep work, preferably a lot of long head work. So hopefully maybe only just 4 sets of push downs, get some blood in the muscle, and then 6 sets, 3 and 3, of maybe an overhead single dumbbell extension, as well as it honestly depends. I could be hitting rope extensions. It's really going to be case by case. I like with arms, and maybe I've been doing it wrong all this time, but I like with arms to kind of switch it up and keep everyone guessing. Not even month to month, almost week to week. But the main movements, I'm never really switching it up too much. It's always going to be a push down, an overhead extension, maybe I don't know, just a bunch of different, a dip. But either way, that's what we're doing for Monday, right? So now that whole day has been finished, other than finishing my workout off with some sled drives, right? And this is sled drives doing the sled drives barefoot. I'm doing them slow and controlled. 5 minutes forward, 5 minutes backwards. So I'm dragging them both ways. This is going to hopefully really pump some blood in in the quads and in the legs in general, and get my feet and the muscles that are in the smaller part of the foot kind of warm and ready, and keep that frequency pumping out, right? Every week, every day almost. I want to be able to get my body to learn to move all the time. So that's it. So you go from cardio in the morning, you take about a six hour break, and or a 5 hour break, whatever the case is. You're hitting push very hard, and then boom. After that, after you hit the little bit of the push ups within that push workout, you're hitting some sled drives, and then you're done. Boom. So I like to typically, and I'll go into this in a little bit, I've been a big sauna fan for quite some time now. I think it's a great thing, not only physically, but also for my mental health. So I plan on hitting a sauna 3 times a week for 20 minutes at ideally over 175 degrees, under 200. I can't control that temperature in my gym, but usually it's within that threshold. So that is my Monday plan, right? And so we'll pivot to Tuesday. And Tuesday is going to start off with a run. The runs are going to be a lot less intense to start because I don't want to get over crazed with all this training. Running has always been a strong suit of mine when I was younger, but because of my lack of training for so long, I fear for getting hurt. I really would like to kind of ease in, and so the running will probably consist of a brisk walk at first, and then the last half of that time I'm walking, a slow control jog. As we keep progressing through this plan month to month, I will hopefully ramp up. But if you look up, I'm a fan. I mean, I have a pretty decent knowledge of running, and I follow a bunch of running influencers and stuff like that, and they always discuss the Maffetone method, and I plan on keeping that consistent. So when I do run, I'm going to be running within that 140, 150 beats per minute kind of lane. And in another video, I can discuss my love for Garmin watches and just fitness tracking in general. So I may not look the part right now, but trust me, in due time. So Tuesday, like I said, going to start off with a run. Then we get into essentially the pull day, which is we're starting off with a Murph kind of progression. We're going to hit 5 sets of pull-ups, probably 5 sets of 5 to start. I probably could push it, but I don't want to go to failure. So yeah, so about 25 pull-ups, get me kind of warmed up, my lats ready to go. And so after that, I really want to hit heavy rows. So I'm hitting 12 sets of back after those pull-ups. And about 8 of those 12 will be some type of row, some type of horizontal row. So I like to hit almost a hammer strength kind of plate loaded row, right? Almost a mid grip, not a wide and definitely not a narrow grip row. I'll then switch over and we'll hit some T-bar rows as well. So that's 8 sets of those combined, so 4 and 4. And then that'll leave me with 4 more sets to complete that 12 set limit. And those will be on some type of pull down. So I like to hit those maximum advantage grip attachments, those mag attachments, I think are incredible. And I'll usually hit a narrow grip. I don't really focus too much on my back. 12 sets twice a week, or at least 20 sets in total in volume seems fine for me. My back handles low volume pretty well. I grow pretty fast, so not really a focus of mine. And if I could save some volume in that, I'd like to, because there's a lot of volume to come. Only issue is that I do have some rounding issues in my shoulder and my anterior kind of my posture. And so I know that working on rear delts and working more specifically on just rows in general, more so than push, is going to really, really help not only posture, but any type of injury. So in total, like I said, those 5 pull-up sets, and then we're hitting 12 sets of back. We're keeping it simple. Then we're going to hit 8 to 10 bicep movements as well, or sets, excuse me. Usually I like to hit a standing movement, so that could either be barbell or dumbbell. I'll probably stick with barbell for now because I like how I can get a little bit cheaty on it. I can kind of pump up the weight a little bit. So I'll be hitting probably 4 sets of that, 4 sets of a seated incline curl. And then I'll finish off with one of 2 finishers, either a pulley, almost like fly, like when I'm coming, like a Superman curl, right? Or I'll be doing 4 sets of some sort of 21 or some type of high volume movement. Could even be a preacher curl of some sort, so with drop set. So that's back and by, keeping it very simple. And I like to also on my back day, that's right on my pull day, I like to hit traps. So and rear delts a little bit, right? And I kind of work that in with the same movements. So as I was saying, we're gonna hit pretty much 8 sets of traps. So 4 sets of some type of face pull. I like to keep it high, lower weight, control the eccentric, and so that's hitting traps as well as rear delts. And then the next 4 sets would be a barbell shrug. I like barbell shrug because I know I'm working on a million things, but I also would like to kind of upgrade my grip strength, and I think that strapless barbell shrugs is a great way to do that. So I finished those movements off, and that pretty much that whole day off with those shrugs. And then to keep it simple and to work on that grip strength as well, I burn out with 3 sets of farmer's carries with dumbbells. I do a set is just 1 minute, nonstop. We have like a turf in my gym. I'll take 50-pound dumbbells and go 1 minute on, 1 minute off. And it is fucking hard. It is very hard, and your forearms will be pumped like you've never even seen before after you complete that. So between the barbell shrugs and then finishing off and finishing off with, like I said, those farmer's carries, you got a pretty good grip strength workout, kind of passively. It's still working the traps. So that's pretty much that day. I'll finish off usually with just 4 sets of hanging leg raises. You're still working that grip, and you're getting a little bit of ab work in. And I like to kind of keep consistent with the ab work throughout an off season or throughout when I'm a little bit heavier, just because I want to keep everything cinched in tight. And kind of working. I don't want anything I don't want to I don't want a weak link in the armor, if you know what I mean. I'd like to keep it pretty consistent. So boom, Monday, Tuesday out of the way. Wednesday is going to be a leg day, and it's going to start off with probably the lighter of the Peloton days in the morning. So a 20-minute workout, get some blood in the muscle, get the heart moving, get a little bit of and a reason why I like cardio in the morning as well, it wakes you up, right? I'll hit cardio, boom, I'll take a cold shower after. So after the Peloton, and when I get to the gym, I'll be hitting 5 sets of squats. Now, I've kind of changed my form over the years. I was really into moving heavyweight back when I was younger. I still am, but I'd like to focus much more on form now. Not that I wasn't before, but more on just the deepness of the squat. So I go really deep, almost ass to grass. I really try to go ATG on the squat movements. And so I've had to humble myself, drop the weight, but I'll hit 5 sets of that, sets of 8 usually. After that, I'll hit 4 sets of dumbbell lunges. Nothing crazy, 40-pound dumbbells, sets of 10 on each leg. And it depends, actually. Sometimes I'll hit barbell lunges. It really all depends on the availability in the gym. Sometimes it gets crowded, but definitely 4 sets of a lunge movement. And then I'll finish off that quad workout, I guess you'd say, with some leg extensions. Nothing crazy, about 3 sets, very slow, controlled, pumping blood in the muscle, and it is what it is. That's what I'll hit for the quad. To piggyback off of that, I'll start with 5 sets of a slow, controlled leg curl for the hams. Then after the leg curl for the hams, I'll hit, and that's 5 sets, by the way. I know I'm kind of breezing through this leg day, but I don't want to make this video so long. But yeah, 5 sets of squat, 4 sets of the lunges, 3 sets of the leg extensions. That's given us 12 sets total for the quads, basically. And then 5 sets of the leg extensions, hitting 4 sets of RDLs, brings us to 9. And that's really all I'm hitting for the hams because I have a pretty strong hamstring day on Saturday that I'll get to. But so 9 sets of that. I'll hit 10 sets of calves. I like to do 5 standing and 5 on a leg press with my toes on the end of it, kind of pushing through. Brings us to 10 calf sets. And so that's pretty much it. And we're gonna burn out with, you guessed it, some Murph progressions, and that's just gonna be 150 air squats. Nothing set in stone. Just from now until whenever I can finish, 150 squats, and we're going to see if I can improve in time, over time, and then when I start to specifically train for the Murph, I think this will help me a great ton in building a foundation. So, boom, the first half of the week is over. The first push, pull, and legs is now completed, and now we get to a little bit of a modification of those first 3 days. So, Thursday, I'm going to be hitting running again. I don't have to repeat that. It is what it is. After the run and when I get to the gym on that Thursday, I'm going to be hitting, again, about 12 to 15 chest. I may peel off 1 set per exercise, so I might be hitting about 4 dumbbell flat. I might be hitting 5 incline movements or sets, and then I'll be hitting 3 fly movements, bringing it to a grand total of 12. If you were following from the Monday, 15 and 12, I'm hitting a lot of chest, right? I'm hitting 27 chest, but I think it really helps with building an attractive aesthetic physique, and I think it also gives me some more passive tricep work that I can use. So hitting the chest, this is really a shoulder emphasized chest day. So now I'm hitting 8 sets of lateral raises, right? I like to hit 5 with dumbbell, and I like to hit about 3 machine. I used to go to a gym with the Arsenal standing lateral raise machine, which was incredible. A lot of gyms don't have that, so I'll usually go for a hammer strength or whatever's there, Life Fitness, Nautilus, whatever they have. But yeah, so 8 sets of lateral raises into 8 sets of rear delt movements or work. So I like to hit 4 reverse fly with the cables, no attachments on there, kind of standing up tall, getting a great stretch, slow and controlled, and then 4 sets of kind of reverse flies on the pec fly machine. And what I like to do is not actually sit with my chest on the protector. I like to actually stand and almost angle myself downward and get a really kind of parallel angle to the way the fly is going to move. So that's my work for that. After that, boom, hitting 100 push-ups again for that Murph training, and then finishing off with 5 minutes of forward sled work and 5 minutes of backward sled work. And so Thursday's a quick day. It's kind of my easy day, I guess you'd say. When I felt when I kind of used to do this program mostly, it was a little bit of a sigh of relief. All right, today's a little bit easier, and Friday is a similar kind of tone because we're mainly working arms. So Friday, I want to get some more back workouts in, back movements in. Before I do that, as you know, I'm hitting Peloton in the morning. After that easier Thursday day, that's probably when I'll hit the 45-minute Peloton workout. So later in the day, boom, I get to the gym. I'm hitting the 5 sets of the pull-ups for the Murph. After that, I'm hitting 8 sets of rowing, ideally 4, similar to the Tuesday, 4 T-bar rows, for maybe seated row on a cable or with a dumbbell under me, getting a little bit of an angle on there, any type of horizontal row. So that's the extent of the back work, nothing crazy. And then about 12 to 15 sets of bis and tris. So I like to superset. I like to do, I'll usually start off 4 sets. I'll do a push down. Right after the push down, I'll hit standing dumbbell curls. That knocks out 4 and 4. Then I'll do a skull crusher with an easy curl bar. Right after the skull crusher set, I'll then stand up with that same weight, burn out with standing barbell curls. That's another 4. You're already at 8. And then I'll finish off with just individual exercises. So a lot of times I'll hit 3 sets of like a dumbbell overhead extension or a cable overhead extension, which will get me to 11 or 12 sets, and then I'll end off on biceps with some type of burnout as well, or just some type of higher volume kind of bicep work. And then that whole day is finished off with some more ab work than I hit on the Tuesday, and that'll just be hanging leg raises, maybe 4 or 5 sets, 8 to 10 reps each, and some cable crunches, right? So, boom, Monday through Friday is done. Now, a very imperative part of this workout plan, this kind of lifestyle switch, is my hopeful lack of drinking. I want to really control and curtail my drinking. It's been a big momentum killer for me in many parts of my life, and I would really plan and hope to cut it out to a certain extent. So Saturday is going to be a day of momentum and a day of actual true joy if I'm able to wake up when I want to and hit a workout and get that momentum. You start getting week after week, not waking up on Saturday and feeling like shit, but getting that extra day in, it can really compound and really, I think it could really show you what progress is really about. So Saturday is going to be a little bit more like my interests focused, right? So I'm not doing cardio on Saturdays. So cardio is strictly a Monday to Friday thing, 5 days a week. I'm really trying to focus on legs, and so I'm hitting 8 sets of quads. I'm going to be hitting 4 sets of higher volume squats, as well as 4 sets of leg press, both higher volume, so 12 to 15 rep range. And then after the quad work, I'm going to be doing. This is fun. I'm going to try to start doing the early on progressions of Nordic curls, right? I would love to be able to do that. I think if you can do that, it's an indicator that you will have huge hamstrings. My legs have lagged behind me my whole life, and I know you're probably saying that this program doesn't really have a huge emphasis on legs, but hitting it twice a week, one for strength, one for volume, is more than I've ever done in my life. I usually hit legs once a week, so I hopefully we'll see some pretty good progress. So, yeah. So we're hitting those Nordic progressions. I'll play it by ear how much I want to get into with that. But after that, then I'll be hitting 4 sets of leg curls, 4 sets of volume RDLs with dumbbells. Then after that, I'll do some glute work, maybe some simple like glute raises or hip thrusts, I should say. And then gonna hit 8 sets of calves. Keeping it simple, that gives me a total of 18 sets of calves for the week, which is not the greatest amount of volume for your calves, but again, it's not really the biggest priority to me at the current moment. And so I end this day off after doing all this high volume leg work. Going to be tough with some farmer's carries and shrugs. I want to continue to build that strength up in my traps as well as my grip strength. And as a little bit of a fun finisher, I'm going to be doing some ATG work. I want to hit just maybe 4 sets each of tib raises as well as FHL calf raises, right? So we're going to see. This might be overkill. This might be just right. We don't know. But I think that this is a good foundation of getting me in the right mindset. I think I'm finally ready to kind of start training hard when it's not right procrastination time, and so I can make some pretty significant progress with all of this. And I know it's a lot of cardio. I'm going to have to up the calories. So I'm planning on eating. And again, I think I mentioned I'm about 165 pounds right now, a little under 5'10". So I would say, like, if I was a guy in the street, most guys my size are like, yeah, I'm 5'10". So, like, I'll just say I'm 5'10". So at 5'10", 165 pounds, I'd like to put on some size, right? And so diet-wise, 2,750 to 3,000 calories to start. I'm going to start off with 2,750. My diet's simple. I keep it very whole food based. I keep it very just kind of simple. So every morning, and this should shake out to about 2,500 calories, and then the last 250 is usually up to me of what I want to do. And then that 250 will then turn into 500. If I'm really good, it'll be literally like olive oil. Like, I'll take a shot of olive oil. But if it's going to be a day where I'm really feeling it and I'm just like, I need something, it might be something in terms of a little bit of a cheat meal. But as long as 95% of my diet is coming from unprocessed, quality kind of food sources, my conscience is guilt free, right? So I start the day off with my my trademark shake, which or smoothie, I guess, which I'll also make a video about. It's amazing for your digestive health, your skin, just your health in general. It's going to get you so many micronutrients that the normal walking around human being doesn't get. It's just a leg up in health and hopefully longevity and just everything. And you feel accomplished when you have it, honestly, because it doesn't taste bad, but it's not like the greatest thing in the world. So when you knock that out in the beginning of the day, you're winning, right? You get that cardio out of the way and then the smoothie, you feel like you've already won the day, and it's not even 9:30, right? So I have that smoothie to start. That smoothie is about, I'll tell you exactly what it is, about 50 grams of carrots, 8 ounces of water, 100 grams of banana, 50 grams of celery. It is about 50 grams of baby spinach, 25 grams of kale. It is 75 grams of pineapple. It is 80 grams of frozen mixed berries. It is 5 grams of turmeric root. 5 grams of ginger root. I'm trying to think if I'm forgetting anything, but I think that is it, right? And it's blended up in. I have a Vitamix. I'm sure that people have Ninjas and they have NutriBullets and there's another one, Blendtec, I think. All fine. I just like to get a very thin consistency, and I'll throw some ice in there as well. And so, boom, you knock that smoothie out. About an hour and a half later, or maybe an hour later, I'll start to eat my breakfast, which is three large eggs with 2 pieces of sprouted grain toast. So that is either Ezekiel bread or I'm forgetting the brand. Actually, it's a blue. It's great. It's I can maybe if I could figure out editing, I'll put a picture of it right here. Imagine it goes right there. But yeah, sprouted grain bread, 2 slices of that. Like I said, 3 whole eggs. I'll use some ketchup. No high fructose corn syrup in it. And I'll drink 1 serving of, I believe it's 1 serving of, it's called Lano Life powdered bone broth, which is like my coffee in the morning. And that's my first breakfast. Then after that, about half an hour to an hour after that, after I feel like I've digested, I have 106 grams of which actually will turn into, I take that back, it'll turn into 159 grams of Kodiak cakes with just water. I've really started to love that. They make it's a really great tasting pancake. There's not much to it. It's from a good source. It's just great. And I'll have that with 2 tablespoons of organic maple syrup, real maple syrup, right? That'll give me some carbs, some sugars. Makes me feel a little like I'm cheating a little bit, even though I'm not. And so it's a great. I love that. And through this time, by the way, I'm drinking a lot of water. So now you've knocked those 2 meals out of the way. Ideally, I would take some time once I digest fully. I'd be at the gym. Once I hit that workout and I come back and I'm feeling a little depleted, that's when I'll have my dinner. Which will be 10 ounces of pulled chicken breast that I make in a crock pot with just Frank's Red Hot. It works for me. I don't care if it's a lot of sodium. I'm not afraid of sodium. I actually supplement usually with some pink Himalayan salt in some of my water because I drink about a little bit over a gallon of water a day. So I hit 10 ounces of that pulled chicken breast. And I eat that with 1 full kind of ready rice packet of jasmine rice, Uncle Ben's, Ben's Ben's Premium. And I'm probably forgetting some stuff. After that, I'll have, towards the night, I'll have a brown rice cake with organic peanut butter or almond butter. Literally, the ingredients are just ground almonds. And I'll have that, about 32 grams of the peanut butter, and one of those rice cakes, which is about 90 calories. And this is all shaped up. I hope I'm not forgetting anything. And if I do, I'll put it in the video right now. But that'll shape up to about 2,500 calories. Ideally, like I said, I'm going to start off at 2,750. I'm going to pyramid up, depending on how the scale's moving when I weigh myself every morning, to probably around 3,500. And then in early March of 2023, I will then coordinate and calculate my cut, and then I'll make a video on that. But so nutrition-wise, boom, it's easy, it's simple. I don't have to think about it. I enjoy it, and so I'm not going to touch it. I'm not going to worry about it. So that's that. Then The training split, it's rigorous, it's tough, but I enjoy it, and I think it's going to be a great thing. And I think that once I can build that foundation, then I can peel it back and almost maintain the things that I don't really use as priority or consider a priority, and then move up from there in terms of the stuff that I really want to train and work out with. So that is pretty much those two major parts of my day in terms of health and wellness. Like I said, I'm hitting sauna 3 times a week for 20 minutes. Unfortunately, I don't have $15,000 to go buy a cold plunge. I don't know. I actually don't understand why they're that expensive. And I know I could make one for a couple $100s, but right now it's just not in the cards. So hopefully in the future, 3 times a week, or excuse me, 5 times a week, I'll be hitting a 2-minute cold plunge each day. And I think I've pretty much covered everything. So my goals are, I want to get very good at running. I want to be able to just be in a very good cardiovascular kind of place where I can handle myself and nothing's too big of a deal in terms of like my work capacity. I want to put on size. That's my number one priority, and I may have to peel back the cardio and sacrifice that if I don't see myself putting on the weight and putting on good weight. So we're going to play that by ear. So with all those things, I really plan on doing the Murph as well and getting good at it as Memorial Day creeps up, which is a while from now. I will start to shift my workout plan much more to that. And on top of all those things, I guess I'll lastly talk about my Garmin watch and how it's helped me and why I prefer it to really any other fitness tracker, and why, although I guess I'm an intermediate in terms of my knowledge, but in terms of like if you saw me walking in the street, I'm a beginner in terms of everything, right? I'm really unfortunately, because of my lifestyle, I went away to college for a while and did a lot of drinking and partying. I had a very rigorous job in finance for quite some time, so I wasn't able to work out or eat the way I really would have liked to, and because of that, the progress has been very stagnant, and it's been very in short spurts. So I'm hoping that I can get to a level that's greater than that. But either way, what my Garmin watch has helped me do. So just to give you some background, I've owned a Whoop 3.0. I've owned an Oura Ring as well. And I've owned an Apple Watch. Granted, the Apple Watch was quite some time ago, but still. And now I own this Garmin, and from my experience, this is far and away the best piece of equipment I've ever owned. And it's to the point where I have a tan line. I haven't taken it off the whole summer. So I got it in probably like late May. It's now late September, and it's just as a part of my life as it was the first day I got it. To give you an idea, I have the Garmin Instinct 2 Solar. What's amazing is that the battery, I don't have to charge much. I charge about once every week and a half, and that's with doing GPS tracking activities. The Garmin Connect app is, in my opinion, the best app compared to all 3 fitness trackers or 4 fitness trackers that I've used. I think that the way they lay out the way they lay out the information, the way I can see all my metrics, the way they kind of aggregate my data for my what's called body battery, which is the equivalent of the Whoop recovery score, I think, or the Whoop stamina score. I'm forgetting the name of it, or the Oura kind of system, is just the most intuitive. It's the by far most seamless, and between Strava and Garmin Connect, it works hand in hand with a couple third-party apps. So I use my watch to track my sleep, and it's been very accurate to my knowledge compared to the Whoop or the Oura Ring. Believe it or not, I believe the Oura is supposed to be the industry standard for sleep tracking. I had the worst experience with that one. I would sleep what I felt like was good and be recovered, in my opinion, in the morning. It would tell me I slept poorly. Then I would go and get blackout drunk one night, sleep for 5 hours. I'd wake up and it told me that I was fully recovered and had an amazing sleep. So that just didn't work out for me. The Whoop just wasn't for me in any way. I didn't like how it didn't track steps. I also didn't like the interface. I didn't like a lot of the ways it tracked my information. And sleep-wise, yeah, it did a good job, I would say. But the Garmin, I think, does just as good of a job. It's very light, so I don't have no real issue with sleeping with it on. It's become just a part of my life, and there's a lot of features I don't even use. I haven't gotten really into multi-sport kind of activities. I'm sure that when I do, hopefully in the next years, get into maybe triathlons or Ironmans or whatever the case, it's going to help me even more. And this watch is much more kind of subtle than their main watch, which is the Garmin Fenix, but yet it has, and it's also like half the price, yet it has every single feature, for the most part, that the Fenix does. So I mean, I really love it. Right now on my screen, I have my live heart rate. I have the weather, the sun's setting date or time, and the rising time, amount of calories I burn, which I don't really put too much stock into, the amount of steps I've had, the battery, and obviously the time and the date. From there, I get my stress score, my heart rate variability. It really does everything that every other tracker does, arguably more accurate. When I do cardio, I connect my Polar H10 to it. So, I mean, it's extremely accurate. It seamlessly links to my Peloton, which links to my Strava. It seamlessly links to my runs. And above all those things, believe it or not, I thought I would like a strap because I'm a big watch person. I enjoy like nice watches and I'd like to wear them. And wearing this, obviously, I can't wear two watches. I've thrown that idea completely out. There's something special about having a digital watch, boom, right here. I don't catch myself looking at my phone. I don't have to take my phone out whenever I need the time. It's right on me. I never would have thought I'd be using that much, but I'm checking the time. I catch myself checking the time all the time, all day, every day. I even get my text messages on here. I think it's great that I can see the text messages and I can't reply. I think it's great that I can see the music I'm listening to and change the song, but it's very important that I cannot reply because it's basically all the functions of a smartwatch without forcing screen time upon me. And I like how it's not a big, bright OLED screen. I just love it. I absolutely love it. And so hopefully this is the end of my yo-yo up and down type lifestyle. Hopefully I will get in shape for good. And I think that anyone who listened to this video, the 10 of you at this point, if you at least take some kind of pointers from the split I created, and you take some pointers from the diet, and by the way, I'm going carb heavy. I'm keeping the fats kind of mid-range and about a gram of protein per pound of body weight. I think that's a great balance to start. If you take some pointers from the diet and you take some pointers from the split, I think you're going to not only make progress, I think it's going to simplify everything, and I think it's a great thing. If you want to ask me any questions or have any interest or want a plan of some sort, I would have no issue having a phone call or a back and forth message with anyone who messages me. You can reach me on Instagram at Michael_Trito, or really any other social media that I have, including my YouTube. My email is mtrito@proton.me. And so I'm looking forward to this new journey. Hopefully this isn't a short-lived video, and hopefully this will be a good thing. And this is the last time I'll be saying that this is the plan and the diet that is going to get me in the best shape of my life and is going to change my life. So I'm very excited. This is probably the first long-winded podcast, or at least kind of video, that I've ever made. Hopefully people enjoy it. And I'll catch you next time.